All right, everybody. So I'm using the whiteboard here, and I'll call this L Centro Graduation Spring 2023. All right. Well, I don't need to put an exclamation point there. And this will be June 15th, Thursday, June 15th. Now, we'll ask everybody to get there who is, if you are in the ceremony, there's traffic, there's parking, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens. Please arrive. Okay. If you are in the ceremony, please arrive by 9:50, around that time, 9:50. And the live stream that those of you who were in my evening class last night, I'm going to show everybody what the invite looks like. Here it is, evening class. All right. So here is the live stream invite. You can send it to all your friends around the world. Here we go. 6B. This is the live stream invitation for anyone who wants to see the graduation from home. There we go. So yes. So everybody here has been to our building. You walk into a hallway. It's a narrow hallway, but the rooms are pretty big. You've got Denise's classroom right here. You've got Ben's classroom right here. You've got my classroom right here. And you've got Ashley's classroom right here. So Ashley's classroom and Ben's classroom, they're about the same size. So what we're going to do here is we'll have the ceremony in Ashley's classroom. So if you get there at 9:50, we'll say great, 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 and we can do a little walkthrough, and we'll stay. One of us will call your name. It'll probably be me or Ben calling the names, and then call your name. You can, and we'll give you the certificate and a flower, and everybody will cheer. And then we'll have rows of chairs right about here, and then a few speakers, former students, current students, and staff will give some speeches. That's what's going to be live streamed, so there'll be a camera right there for the ceremony. And then while that's being streamed right here, we have a screen in this room, and for because this room won't be able to fit everybody, and people will of course be coming in and out at different times, we have a lounge, and people can come, sit, and you'll see the graduation profiles. Most of you have already created. Israel just arrived. Israel, we haven't gotten your profile yet. So yes, I'll show you that. That'll be on loop, and everybody can sit and talk and hang out. And once the ceremony is over, there is a potluck lunch. So potluck, who knows what a potluck means? Tell us, Jackie.
You can share your dish with the other students or with your friends, so you can grab whatever you want and share.
Exactly. So yes, share some one of your favorites. So does anybody here like to cook, enjoy cooking? I don't see any hands up. Okay, one of you. Okay, I like to cook. I think I'll maybe make something too. All right, so bring a dish of some sort. Nothing that involves lighting it on fire. Nothing that is gonna explode. Something safe and nice for a party that everybody can enjoy. So yes, you're invited to bring a dish. So if you cook, come on in, and you can put the dish here in this room. My classroom will be the food room. We'll have all the tables set up, and everybody can put their various dishes out there, and maybe put a name tag on it. Maybe a piece of tape with a name, and the name of the dish would be great. Because we got an international crowd. Like, this is said dish with whatever, and maybe a small list of ingredients, so that we don't have a lot of food allergies, but if anybody's allergic to something, we don't want to kill anyone. All that's good stuff. So yeah, just maybe the name of the dish, and that'll be here. So you get your food here, and you can hang out here. And once the ceremony is over, this will be dance party. And we'll see, we aren't going to pressure everybody. If we might have what's called a group of wallflowers. Does anybody know what a wallflower is? A wallflower is a person who, whenever they're around other people dancing, they just hang on the wall, like they're a flower growing out of the wall. They're too shy to dance. So we'll have music playing, and we might have a DJ. We might just have a Spotify open, and everybody can program in their own music, so people can just play what they want. Doesn't matter. If people start dancing, great. If it's a bunch of wallflowers, that's the way it goes sometimes. But hopefully we'll have some dancing. So the ceremony should go for about 30 minutes or so, give or take. Once we're done with that, you can hang out here and talk in this room. You can grab some food in this room, and you can dance in this room, and it'll be all wrapped up before 1 o'clock. So about 12:31, it'll be dying down. That's it. Any questions? No questions? Beautiful. Okay. So, yes, Jackie.
Who is the person who is name your call it your name?
That will either be, last year it was Ben and I, we did it at the same time. We did it back and forth. I called one name, he called the other. I'll actually play that recording of how it worked last year, but we did it completely virtual. We're going to be in person and live stream it for anybody who can't come.
Okay, because I have a little request.
Sure.
For my name, I have a long name, so I would like to call me with my nickname. Yes, so just Jackie Alarcon. Yes.
Okay. Well, actually, the next order of business is to make sure I get everybody's name correct. But you want your full name on the certificate, right?
Yes.
So the certificate will have the full name, but you just want it to be said Jackie Alarcon.
Yes.
Hang on 1 second. Wait a minute. Tell me if I get this right. If I mess this up, I think I could do this. Maria del Carmen Jacqueline Alarcon Dueñas. Did I mess it up? Okay. What do you want? You want the whole thing, or you want Jackie Alarcon?
Just Jackie
Okay,
Alarcon.
You got it. Whatever you want. Jackie Alarcon, but you want Maria del Carmen Jacqueline Alarcon Dueñas. Dueñas or Dueñas?
It's very difficult. Yes, Dueñas. Yes.
A pause. Dueñas. Dueñas. Okay. Is there a space between du and eñas, or?
No, it's not pass. It's not pass. Just let me. It's very complicated. So any person in my life is
Right.
pronouncing my whole name correctly. So
Okay, well, this is the next order of business. I wanted to go, you see how I put an asterisk on Fernandez's
yeah.
name? Once I confirm with the student that their name is correct, I put a little asterisk there. So is this the way, so you want it to be spoken as Jackie Alacon, but you want the full name on the certificate?
Yes, because it's an official document, right? So
You got it. No, it makes perfect sense. And so I'm just gonna take that off so that she doesn't, Lydia doesn't print what's in parentheses. So tell me if there's anything you want to change. Is this correct as written?
the last name,
Yes.
but I think you don't have we call it Eñe.
This is what you want to do. Send it exactly what you want on WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
Send it to me right now. I will paste it so that
Yep.
you get it. So send it to me right now, exactly what you want. And then I'll paste it, and then you tell me if I get it right.
Yep. Yes, this is difficult. That's it. This is my whole name.
Oh, the accent mark. Yep. You got it. That's
So
not too hard.
this is my legal name, but anybody in my life can pronounce properly. So no worries.
Oh, yeah. I see where the accent mark is. Yes. No problem. I get it. Alacon Dueñez. Yeah, makes sense. Maria del Carmen Jacqueline Alacon Dueñez. Okay, no problem. Let's see who else is here. Christian, are you here today? Anthony.
Hello,
Good
teacher.
morning, sir. Your name right here. Is this how you want it printed on the certificate?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so now are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting the asterisk there. Thank you, Anthony. Israel. Let's put Israel here. Okay, Israel, is there anything you want to change about your name right here?
Everything is good, sir. How are you today?
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Good. Sandra.
Hi, good morning. I'm very well, thank you.
Please send me the correct spelling of your name on WhatsApp and I'll put it here and then we'll confirm. Sandra.
Okay.
And the reason I'm asking everybody to send it on WhatsApp is I can't cut and paste from the Zoom chat for some strange reason. Okay. And okay, and we can do the same thing for, okay, so Israel, Fernandez, Nilian, are we here? No, we're not. Let's see. Oh wait, Nilian, you are, let me just double check here. Not all students, some students are sticking with us for another semester, which is great. Let me just double check here. We have several students who did distance learning that stayed with us for another year, which is oftentimes a very good plan. Okay. Let me see. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, we got Sandra. Now, Sandra, would you like your full name to be announced at the graduation?
No, please, only Sandra Munoz. Thank you.
Sandra Munoz, got it. So Jackie Alacon and Sandra Munoz. Does anybody else have that, a similar request? Only part of your name announced. Bibiana,
Me,
what would you like
teacher,
us to say?
Viviana Forigua.
Forigua, Bibiana Forigua.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm making a note right here. Jackie Alacon, Bibiana Forigua. And Sandra Munoz. Okay, let's see. I think we're good. All right. Okay, so other order of business, yes. For the graduation profiles, the slideshow. Everybody take a look at these. So you can decorate them however you like. Yay, there's Stephanie, she finished hers yesterday, okay. So there's Bibiana's, yay. So you can do whatever you want, be creative. There's Doris, yay. There's Clary, Leticia. Oh wait, Leticia, I don't think I saw you here. Leticia, let me, please send me the correct spelling of your name.
I send you a message in WhatsApp.
Leticia. Oh, there it is. Awesome. So, Leticia, what would you like us to say? Would you like us to say Reña Leticia Ruiz Munoz or
Just Leticia Ruiz.
wait, Leticia Ruiz?
Yeah.
No Munoz. You got it. Okay. Leticia Ruiz Munoz. And let me see. Nillian. There you are. Vera. Okay. Nillian,
Yeah, teacher.
is this what you want on the certificate?
Yeah.
Exactly
Since
like this.
the-
No changes, no accent marks that I don't know about.
That's all.
Okay, and I was just making what you're writing a little bit bigger. Okay,
Okay.
Lilian Vera. All right, and we're good. Gracie, we got Gracie. Yep, Ankari. Okay, we're looking good. We're doing our thing. Gracie and Ankari. What was I doing here? Okay. All set. Am I missing anybody else that I didn't get to talk to? Nope. We're in good shape now. Yes. So, Israel, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Where is your handsome face? I don't see Israel. We have no Israel. We have to change that. So Israel, I'm going to send this this open document right here. Yes, and see Sandra is in there right now making hers. So let's fix that. Here we go. Okay, here is the graduation profile slideshow. Don't worry about the grammar mistakes. I'm going to look through each of them and help everybody with little mistakes. Remember, less is more. You don't have to write a book, just a few words, like a few sentences. There you go. And remember, it's going to be flashing on a screen like 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Nobody's going to read carefully the whole thing. So just not too many words. All right. Okay, so Israel, get in there and make your slideshow. And for those who came just about 5 minutes ago and you missed the rundown, if you are in the graduation ceremony, come at what time?
9:50.
Beautiful, Bibiana. So if you're in the ceremony itself, if you're part of the show, come at 9:50. Yes, come at 9:50 and there'll be plenty of time to get everything sorted. If you're watching it at home, you can come at, you just turn on the live stream at 10:30 and that's it. If you're not in the ceremony, yes, everybody here at this moment right now is part of the ceremony, so I should see you there at 9:50. Beautiful. And it's the 15th next week. And I just sent the invitation out. What's the last question I was going to ask? Last question. Oh, yes. Let's RSVP. Respond, s'il vous plaît. Okay. Please raise your hand. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Okay. Is there anyone in class here right now who cannot make it to the ceremony on Thursday, June 15th? If you cannot make it for whatever reason, just let me know so that we're not saying, oh, no, wait, don't start. They're not here yet. If you cannot make it, just respond in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'm just going to write down. Okay. RSVP'd. Starting the list right now. Doris will be there. Sandra, you will be there, yes?
Yes.
Anthony, will I see you there? Okay. All right. Gracie, will I see you there?
Yes.
All right. I don't see anybody saying they can't make it. Franerdes, I see you almost every week there. Jackie will be there. Leticia. Nilian. I think we're good. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, good. So we've RSVP'd. Beautiful. Huh? Oh, yes. And by the way, everybody, when you are changing your slide, please do not change everybody's slide. I want to show you a little trick. You see slide. Don't mess with the layout, because when you go to layout, if you go to layout, it will change everybody's. Just go to background. So for instance, Sandra, I'm going to use yours as an example. So here's Sandra. She's making her slide. If I have highlighted Sandra's, I go to background and I want to go change from the black background to a yellow background. There it is. And if I want to go to a yellow background, I go to black background. But if you go to layout, that will change absolutely everybody's slide and be very confusing. So just make sure you go to background and not layout. So I think, yeah, Stephanie needed a lighter background. Let me just fix hers real quick. Yeah, there we go. So now we can read the text. All good. Okay. So yes, make sure you just use background and not layout because that will change everyone's slide. But it is the world of shared documents, and that's the way we collaborate these days. All right, any questions about the ceremony on Thursday before we move along? I have a question. Every year we have significantly more women than men graduating. In the future, do you think that we're going to have a society of very, very uneducated men? I'm just saying, I'm asking matter of fact, because it's not just in the field of adult education. This is actually in higher education worldwide. Significantly more women right now are entering college in this country than men, which I'm starting to wonder, why isn't the pay disparity in the other direction? Or is that going to be a shift in the future? Because, well, what's the question? Worldwide, who makes more money, men or women?
Can I?
Yeah, it's a really easy question to answer, right? Go for it.
I
Yeah,
don't think that I don't think that is easy, but for example, in my country, if you go to the college, we are more women than men. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if in the United States is the same, but I think we are more interested in education men. Why? I don't know why, but that's happening. I see from always, when I remember I started the school, always I remember we are more female educating than men. I don't know
like
why.
here's an example. When like about 10 seconds ago, I mentioned to Sandra, oh, hey, Sandra, make sure you put your profile together. And
Yeah.
I know, and yesterday, so here's to my 6A students graduating. There's John, there's Stephanie. Stephanie put hers together right away. John, nothing. So if I have a company and I want to hire one or the other, which one am I going to hire? They're both really talented, both really, really smart. Which one am I going to hire? The one who does the work or the one who just does nothing? Right. So it's kind of like, to me, it says, okay, yeah, definitely hire the woman because you're going to have to remind the man to do it 1,000 times. For instance, Israel, where's your slide?
What I see here,
Thank you
teacher,
for proving my point, Israel. Go for it, Gracie.
I think in the United States, 57% of the college students are female.
Where did you get that stat? I think it's right, but I'm just wondering where you got that.
I found that in internet.
No, be specific. What's the source?
Let me see my Dr. Google. In Wikipedia, let me see.
And this is like, and it actually kind of, here's something else. If I was a younger single guy, I would definitely be trying to get into college right now. I'd be like, because it'd be really great odds. But I don't see that happening.
Teacher, I
It's like,
think,
yeah, it's like the odds of being in a yoga class. Like a man walks into a yoga class, it's like great odds, but same
This
thing in
information
college.
is by UNESCO. What is in English? UNESCO?
UNESCO, United Nations Education Science. I forgot what
Yeah.
the C means. United Nations Education Science Culture Organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think-
yes. So that's a very reliable source. So according to UNESCO, which is a branch of the United Nations, in the US, colleges have 50% more women.
Teacher, I think the men just like to when he has the work, he just like to work and make money. I think the woman provide the future and wants more. She can wait, but in the future, I think the woman think I can get more. That's why we go to the college and have a hard time to study and have the because we think about the future. The men, I think, wants the money first.
Okay. So you're saying, so there's something in our brains that says make money today and something in your brain that says make money in the future.
Yes, and yes,
You might be right about that.
because
Yeah.
women think about the child in the future. Things. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's
All right, so a lot of you have sons, right?
yeah.
Your son is in the 5th grade. He's an honors student in Randolph Middle School, right?
Another honor student, yeah, June 1, the second honor student.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're Jackie, your son is in the 6th grade, right?
I have two. Yes, one in sixth and
Okay.
one in kindergarten.
Okay. So yes, encourage them to keep studying. Don't just don't
Yes.
disappear and
Yep.
start and just spend the rest of your life in an Amazon warehouse.
I think teacher, it's very different the reasons for each person here, but
Yeah.
we are in college or not in college or so
Hmm.
I think it's very different reasons. But for me, in my case, my personal case, my husband is working with a company, so we have some kind of visa that I cannot work right now. I don't have the work the job permit.
Yeah.
I could do the under table jobs.
Mhm.
But the agreement between my husband and I, so in this moment, I could stay with the guys, with my children, and my personal goals are improve my English skills. So I decide, in my case, like to work in my in El Centro and then the college. So this is my personal reasons. So, but I think everyone has the different reasons to do or not to do the college or the studies.
Mhm.
Yes.
Here's a question. Maybe I'll put this in the chat. I want to know what everybody thinks. Okay, so Gracie, you found that it's at the moment, according to UNESCO, was that 2022, 2023 statistics according to UNESCO?
I might remove it. Let me see.
Teacher, you can change my background, please, for blue.
noticed some students needed a background change, so you got it.
I
2021, teacher.
Yeah, everybody, I'll demonstrate. If you don't like the, white, gray, you could do whatever you want with the background. You can, it's fun. So here we go. Where is this? Doris, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. You got it. What would you like for the background, Doris?
yes, the another one. Just, close full green, yes.
This
Yes.
one? Like an aqua? Yeah, cyan. Oh, nice. Maybe I'd suggest like a darker, inside the text box, you can use this to fill a color, because now it's harder to see that. You could do like a yellow. You can play with it. I encourage, well, now it's harder to, maybe.
White and the letters.
Okay, yeah, you can read the, yeah. Oh, and that matches your dress.
Yes,
Perfect.
that's why.
Yeah, good thinking. Yeah, so everybody play with your own background. Just make sure you don't do layout, because then if you do layout, like if I went to layout, I would give every single person the same blue and white layout, and everyone would scream and cry. So, but anyway, what I wanted to ask was, okay. So at the moment, in the US, there are more women in college than men. Does that mean that in the future, women in the US will be making more money than men on average? That's my question. I want to know what everybody thinks. It's of course hard to predict the future. So everybody read the question I put in the chat. At the moment, in the US, there are more women than in college than men. Does that mean that in the future, women in the US will make more money than men on average? It can depend on a lot of things. Like if you get a degree in social work, museum studies, education, you might not be making as much money as somebody who doesn't finish college and goes into what's one of those higher paying trades that you don't need a college degree for, becomes an electrician. Okay, electricians often will make like $70,000 to $80,000 a year, whereas a librarian would make $55,000 to $65,000 a year. So my point is, college doesn't always equal more money. Usually it does, but there are these unusual circumstances. So I mean, you could have thousands of women going to college, but then going into lower paid jobs. Who knows? Or you could have thousands of women going to college and then going into more higher paid jobs than men, and then you'd have that scale being tipped. Who knows? Like if all of a sudden every hospital in America, every doctor in America becomes a woman, and it's like 90% women are doctors, you will have that salary, the scales of the salaries being tipped. Or doctors, lawyers, these are higher paying jobs on average. What does everybody think? If you have more women in college than men right now, will the US be a country where women are making more money than men? Tell me what you think, and you can answer yes or no.
No.
Well, just type in the chat. I want to read what everybody thinks. And while we do this, let's just go over. There we go. Yeah, Jackie, you put a lot of you have, I think, the most original slide. Very inspiring. Bibiana, is this where'd you take this picture?
Teacher, it was in Colombia.
Okay. Nice. There's fraternities. Claudia. Oh, by the way, I did this with Claudia to demonstrate and she kept it. If you want to make your picture bounce or something like that. So like Doris, you want me to show you how to make your picture bounce?
Um,
And
Yeah.
I'll remove it. So like you
Yeah.
go to appear, and this is turning into a computer class. You could have all these choices. I can say fly in from the left. So Doris, boom, she's flying in from the left.
Okay.
Just, I encourage everybody to play with that. There you go. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. I just want to read the chat for now. Here we go. Will women be making more money than men in the future if there are more women in college in America right now? Okay, you can write your answer in the chat. I want to hear what everybody thinks. I'll pause the recording because if you're anybody watching this recording is just listening to breathing and staring at black squares. So I'll pause the recording. I want to hear what everybody thinks. Bibiana, please share your answer. It's very interesting.
Yeah, well, what I think is that that depends of the context on the opportunities that women are able to have depending of what they study. Because sometimes, well, yes, you can study more, but do you have the same opportunity?
Right. And you want to study sociology in college, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Very interesting. That's kind of a little bit like my example of like the social worker and the electrician. So one will have more education and more student loans to pay off later, but the other will have more money.
Yes, exactly.
Sandra, Letitia, please share with us your answer.
I think yes, because if women are preparing themselves, they have more opportunity because they have more knowledge. Is my opinion.
All right, so yes, if women are preparing for better work, for better pay now, they will have better pay in the future. Okay. Sandra.
Hi.
Yours is an interesting take on the question. Go for it.
I think maybe it's the business belong to the woman because now many women are more educated than men, but women are earn less money than men.
So when you say business belongs, do you mean ownership or do you mean like entrepreneurship? The difference being an entrepreneur creates companies.
Yeah,
An owner can just like acquire companies.
entrepreneurs.
Okay, so if there are more female entrepreneurs creating jobs, then yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Doris, please share with us your answer.
I think because sometimes a lot of men don't have opportunity when I was young, and the only chance he has is to work and make money, sometimes to help the family, and maybe the woman is more protected on the family. That's why because the woman is the I think the people think the woman is very fragile. I think that's why you need to protect the woman and think in the future. That's why the man needs to work early.
Fraternities, please share what you just wrote.
I'm sorry, teacher, because I'm eating.
It's okay.
I think it's true because nowadays the woman has helper that man. For example, it's like Doris said. She said the woman need to work in even in this country. If you woman and you have children, you has a lot of opportunity for take care of your children and help. If you are single mom, you can get some help, some financial. But if you are men, I think it's so difficult for that. The men or tiny to work for surviving.
Interesting. Nelian, please share. Nelian.
Could you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Perfect.
Okay, so I say that maybe women nowadays we try to get more independence from men, right? So we focus more on to study or to make money by ourselves, and men focus more in making money and no study as priority. I guess so.
Jackie just added a little bit based on what you said earlier. You can kind of reiterate.
Yes, I think it's like a very personal decision, and it depends on what do you want to do in your job, what do you choose for your field experience, and then that's the process, the process to have the job opportunities. So it depends. It not just woman to do college is gonna be the most successful person or people. It depends what your field is in your career. I think so.
All right. So if like if all law schools or medical schools are filled up with women, yes, you will have more money, women making more money, and all men are going into lower paying professions than, or vice versa. So it depends on the field. Is what Jackie's point. Very nice. And guess what? It's time for a break, everybody. I think, yes.
Sorry, I have short opinion. We are making more money by group, but for the same job, same position, we are getting less money.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I was waiting for somebody to say that, because that's essentially the slogan: equal pay for equal work.
Yes.
And well, here's something this country is very unique in terms of athletics. Women's soccer just recently landed equal pay because the U.S. women's team won the World Cup and landed equal pay with men's professional soccer. But that's kind of an anomaly, which means a very, very unique situation. Almost like modeling. Like male models sometimes almost always make less than female models, but every other profession, on average, men make more money to do exactly the same thing.
Yes, we are still, I think it's still gender discrimination, because when you see why, you say, why? We are responsible, we do our job, we do everything like, but less pay? Why? It's for me, it's gender discrimination, is what I think.
So let's go back to, here we go, hold on a second. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the example of the graduation slides. Here we go. Okay, let's take a look at Sandra. Where's Sandra Munoz? Okay, Sandra, she finished her writing. She hasn't put a picture there on. Where's Israel? All right, Israel, I'm gonna write your name right there. Okay, let's see if by the end of class, Israel has finished his slide. I guarantee you Sandra will have finished hers. But will Israel be making more money than Sandra in the future? Who knows? Sandra, right now you're working hard. You're going to have to work twice as hard to go half as far. All right, at least somebody gets the joke. Thank you, Sandra. Okay, so does everybody want the dancing monkey or the skateboard, the dog on the skateboard? Or there is also an exploding watermelon. So monkeys, dog and skateboard, or exploding watermelon.
Because yesterday is in the monkey.
You got it. Or the roller coaster. There it is. Okay, everybody. There we go. Okay. Take a 10-minute break. Here we are. So here's the article we read last week. This article we have been reading shows that American attitudes towards health and fitness have changed over time. Has a similar change happened in another country you've lived in? And I'll invite everybody to read their answers to the question, or you can also read other people's answers. So Gracie, we can start, well, it's just, doesn't matter what order. Who we have, who wants to begin? Gracie, Doris, Bibiana. All right, go for it, Bibiana.
Okay, teacher. In my country, Colombia, it's not very common to run in the big cities. Usually people who runs is rich people because their areas are more secure than other parts of the city where almost everyone rides a bike.
Very interesting. So running might be a sign of social class.
Yes, yes, because their area was, well, it's secure. But normal people, like all people, when they go to work or to study, you always use a bike. It is normal, at least in my city, we always use bike. So it is not normal to run.
Very interesting. So yes, and I corrected a little grammar mistake there for you.
Thank you, teacher.
No problem. So plural are, people who run are rich people because the areas are more secure. In other parts of the city where almost everyone rides a bike. All right.
Thank you.
Good work. Very interesting, Bibiana. Who wants to share next? And of course, if you haven't put your answer here yet, you can go ahead. Who would like to share next? And if you want to read for one of your classmates who's not here, that's fine. Doris, you want to share your story about Brazil?
Yes.
Take it away, Doris.
Living in Cape Verde in Brazil helped has always been important. People are healthy, people walk a lot and given the lifestyle and the weather. Now living in USA, there has become change to the health and fitness because I'm seeing people more interested in natural ways and exotic foods, like açaí, but in Portuguese is açaí, and other ways to age a lifestyle with surgery, etc. I think that now here in USA, people are more concerned about their healthy, even though there are still many cases of obesity. Yes.
Very interesting. You mentioned this, living in Brazil, people were interested, people would choose foods that were considered healthy and surgery. So you mean like cosmetic surgery? Cosmetic, like
Yes,
right.
because I think it's Riatica. I think it's the stomach surgery people made to lose weight.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Foot entities, would you like to share yours? Oh, I think we might have lost foot entities. Gracie, would you like to share yours?
Yes. I talk about South Korea. In Korea, they are totally strict with their I'm not reading, okay?
Go for it.
They are totally strict with the health, their food, they exercise, they do exercise every day. They are totally balanced, and it's not easy. You see someone fat.
Mm.
And to do exercise for them, it's the norm. It's something that you have to do. I was talking last night that I had an experience that changed my life. I think I usually do exercise. I like that, but one day while I was climbing with my director and another group, we were climbing, and for them normal, they are all, but they don't look all. You never know who is all or not. And we were climbing, and he said, "You calm." He said, "Gracie," I said, "You look young." I say, "You are not supposed to be tired here now."
You look tired. You're not supposed to look tired.
I was tired. I said, "Oh my God, this is so high. How am I gonna be there in the last of the
We're
extreme of the
climbing a mountain,
mountain?"
and they told you, like, don't look like you're tired.
Yes, but look at this. Listen, he said, "Gracie, just." It was totally silent. The group, "Gracie, you look young. You are not supposed to be tired because you don't know how well really old men here." And I
That's
never
funny.
forget that. Never. I know I have to keep doing exercise every time.
I have a question, Gracie. When you lived in South Korea, did you ever meet anybody who did this thing called the mukbang?
What is
Mukbang?
no? What is mukbang? What is?
Okay, so they're influencers, but they're people who eat on like their own social media.
Yes.
But like it's a big thing, South Korea. And sometimes the people will be really fat, and sometimes the people will be really skinny, and they'll just get on the camera and they'll eat.
They do always.
Why they do that?
Somebody sit and eat something for an hour, and it's like a social thing.
Yes, I
Why?
basically They are crazy eating pork. You see pork with grease food, and sometimes they want to show how they eat that and they don't get fat. It's like
Right. It's like some of these mukbang stars, some of them are really, really skinny and they just sit and eat something for like an hour.
they eat a lot. It's like a sport for them, but it's terrible. It's, oh my God, that's normal for them. They do always that.
Imagine there's some kind of purging, like vomiting or something later. Okay, yeah, like these.
Yes, I know.
These like really tiny women who will just eat and eat and eat on their shows.
Yes.
Okay, wait, where's one of these stars? But they'll have like their own live streaming thing. Okay, so there we go.
Look at her. I
Where is
really love that food that she eating, but not that size.
Okay, here we go. So, all right, so mukbang stars.
When you're launching a new product with a type.
I actually, you know what I like to do with kimchi? There's a brand of kimchi that comes out of New Jersey. I can get it in supermarket in Quincy. When I make a burger, I like to put one little strip of kimchi on top of it.
Kimchi is really great food.
Okay, so here are, let's see, mukbang stars. This is Gracie's world. Yeah, they're really tiny women who get famous for eating a lot.
Grammarly Business.
So I'm wondering, all right.
자, 우리 슬기양은 평소에 뭐 다이어트 안 하십니까?
저도 다이어트를 이제 활동 준비하면서
네.
합니다.
체중 관리를 할 때
네.
가장 먹고 싶은 음식이 뭐예요?
라면.
라면.
어떻게?
따뜻한 국물에
국물에?
매콤한 국물에
계란 풉니까,
계란을 후루룩.
계란.
저는 계란 풉니다.
계란
풀어서?
풀어요?
네, 이렇게 풀어서 같이 이렇게 섞어서 이렇게 후루룩.
나중에 밥 말아요, 안 말아요?
저는 밥을 말지 않습니다. 네,
아,
밥은 말지 않는데
말아야 되는데.
밥 말아야
국물을
됩니까?
이렇게 같이 막.
밥은 무조건 말아야죠. 국물 어떻습니까?
국물이 많이 살이 찐다고 하잖아요.
네.
이게 어떻게 식수가 되지?
Okay, these commercials are driving us crazy. And now, of course, YouTube thinks I speak Korean, giving me a Korean commercial. But essentially, these people become celebrities. The way Doris, you're an influencer in the US. These are influencers in South Korea, but people will spend time watching them eat. And they're mukbang stars. So whoever these ladies are, okay, there we go. She's a star. There we go. So people will, to me, this looks like, you know, a nice big lunch. This is nice. I could go for some good Korean food. That's bulgogi right there. That sounds good to me. But this tiny woman will become a superstar and she'll eat a huge plate of food and she'll have this following.
예, 곱창을 준비하고 있습니다.
Okay, so there it is. Some people like to watch sport. Other people like to watch tiny women eat large amounts of food. There we go. And they're men too. Men do it too. Okay. And here we go. What was I thinking of? So yeah. So Gracie, did you ever get into that world? Did your colleagues like sit at the office and somebody on their computer screen was watching a mukbang star eating and eating and eating and eating?
It's normal for them, but they
It's
eat
normal.
all the.
So everybody, I'm not making this up. It is perfectly normal.
Yes, but they eat whole day. You know, they are not fat, but they eat whole day. Whole day they are eating or drinking something. I said, I don't know why they are not fat.
Interesting. All right. Let's hear. Okay. Fatima is not here this morning. Would anybody like to read for Fatima?
Me. In my country, Morocco, long time ago, it was so wild to run in the street, but now people used to. We have a lot of place for jogging in my city every weekend. All the family every morning doing jogging in forest. I think people change. They want to be healthy.
And supportive. Okay. Oh, you muted yourself at the end. So, but we got it. Yes. So the city she's from, it started changing the way design of cities because more people started running. So Morocco, according to Fatima, running has taken off. All right. Okay, we can wrap up class with what we came up with last night. Here it is. I have the story of an international border. Everyone who was in my class last night voted on one of 6 international borders to focus on. And this morning I have been putting together a vocab list. The story is called Divided Island. It's the story of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And here is vocab to make the story easier to understand. And okay, so there's the violet. We'll call this part 1. All right, and I'll send this vocab to the WhatsApp group. So I noticed there was a lot of tricky vocab, and I didn't give enough vocab for scaffolding years ago when I tried to teach this story before. So I'm going to give everybody plenty of vocab this time. Okay, so vocabulary. Here we go. Here is some vocab for the first half of the story, Divided Island. All right. Okay. Everybody, follow me with a little pronunciation. Okay. I'll underline and everybody can follow. Here we go. Border.
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 Stable.
Stable.
Volatile.
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 Merchants.
Merchant.
Merchants.
Merchant.
Here we go. Informal.
Informal.
Chaotic.
Chaotic.
Vendor.
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 Tension.
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 Oh, you know what? I did this twice. Forget that. Colony.
Colony.
Imperial.
Imperial.
Exploited.
Exploited.
Harvesting.
Harvesting.
Rebelled.
Rebel.
Rebelled.
Indigenous.
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 Integrated.
Integrated.
Racially mixed.
Racially mixed.
All right. I just realized I put colony twice, so let me fix that. Whoop. There we go. That's better. And I'll resend that list. delete for everyone. Okay. Here's the vocab for divided island part 1. There we go. Okay, so some of these words you'll know already, others will be new. Who could tell me what is a border?
It's the line to divide countries or something.
Now, here's an easy way to figure out this word. If you take away the S and put in and just say T-A-B-L-E, what is it?
Table.
And the word stable means what?
Stable is the equilibrate.
Right, if something
Doesn't move.
is sturdy and stays in one place, it's stable. So you want your table to be stable. You don't want your table to fall over. Volatile.
Like it's able to change a lot.
Yeah. If you read about the stock market, people say if the stock market is like volatile, that means it's really hard to tell what something is going to be worth. It's like a value of a share of a company is going up and down and up and down. There's volatility. Changing a lot is exactly what Bibiana said. So volatile. Merchants. You know the word merchandise? That's a hint.
Merchandise, yeah.
What is merchandise?
Like the market, people who do business.
Yeah, merchandise it's goods that you sell, and a merchant is somebody who sells goods, stuff, usually tangible things that people buy. Informal, the opposite of formal. So very casual. Chaotic.
A disaster.
Exactly, chaos. I mean, total. It's unorganized. It's just chaos. It's unorganized. Vendor. You heard the word a vending machine. Somebody selling something else. It's a synonym of a merchant. Is a vendor.
It's like in Spanish. It's like who's selling something, right?
Exactly. So merchant and vendor, oftentimes they're synonyms. Tension.
Can I?
Yeah.
It's a kind of tension is like something difficult situation, a kind of
yeah, something's difficult. It's
stressful moment, like
yeah. You ever heard the word intense? This is intense. Yeah, it means stressful. It's a synonym of stressful, of stress. Colony. That's the same word in most other languages. What is a colony?
It's a place where another people came to steal.
Think of it
rape.
as possession.
Possession, yeah.
It's possession. Because stealing and raping, you can have all these things happen without in independent places as well. So you want to be specific to the definition. Colony, it's the possession of another country. And here are synonyms.
but could be also a country in possession to another country, right?
Well, that's where it gets really tricky. A country in possession of another country. Well, that would be occupation. But colony is formal ownership of another place. And when it is owned by another country, it is no longer considered an independent republic. It's considered a territory or commonwealth. And that's where it gets really confusing.
Mhm.
The British Virgin Islands, for example.
Mhm.
So
South
Argentina,
America.
right, in Argentina and the UK are disputed territory, the Falkland Islands.
Mhm.
The US has multiple territories around the world.
Yes.
The American Samoa, that is considered a US Commonwealth. So citizens of the American Samoa have US passports, but are actually not granted the same rights as US citizens in the mainland. Same thing with Puerto Rico, the US Virgin Islands, the Monera Islands, and Guam. So that's where the word colony comes in. Think of it as the possession of land by another country. And imperial.
The
Think of
one
this-
who possesses the country.
Imperial, think of it as an adjective of this. If empire is a noun, imperial is the adjective. Exploited. What is exploited?
When you
Like-
use
Israel, then Bibiana, go for it.
go with
Go Israel, I miss your voice.
Tell us, Israel.
I'm not sure, but I think when you use a country to get the resource or something, you
Yeah, think of it as taking.
take advantage from
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Taking without giving, exploit, to be exploited. Harvest. What is harvesting?
When you have a farm and you plant corn, something like that, you are
Yeah, yeah.
harvesting.
Yeah, so you're growing something, and the harvesting is the extraction of the crop that you grow. Rebelled. Rebelled. What is rebelled? To rebel is to do what?
It's a kind of when you, let me see if I have the word, when you said, okay, let's stop, I don't want more this, and you
It usually describes a social movement. I mean, somebody who does things differently might call themselves a rebel, is somebody who's a little bit different. But in this context, rebelled, like a political context, it's some larger social movement to change an established structure of power. I don't know if I'm making it harder or easier, but exactly what Gracie is saying. Yes. Indigenous. Who knows this word?
The real owners of the land. Well, the ancient ones.
I'm going to give some similar synonyms.
Yes.
Original, or you could say organic, native, original. However, sometimes some indigenous groups of people have a history of migration as well, so that does get super complicated.
It is.
Let's see. Integrated. What is integrated?
To be part of
Yeah, to be, it's kind of like integrated, and these two words are similar. Well, integrated is a way mixed.
Yes, see what that we
Right.
want to be here. We want to integrate to the community, right?
Exactly, exactly. Perfect. Okay, so that was our scaffolding of vocabulary. And I'm going to play the first half of the video, Divided Island Part 1. I'm going to show everybody some questions, and then next class, we'll take turns answering those questions. Here we go. And we'll get a little extra practice in the evening class tomorrow night. So here are the questions, and you'll have plenty of time. Well, actually, we could take one reader after the other. Who wants to volunteer to read the question? Because there's some complex language the way I wrote the questions in conjunction. Volunteer for the first question.
Not me.
And then Doris will take the second question. Okay, Bibiana.
Why don't Haitian merchants cross the border on land and travel by boat instead?
So Bibiana was here last night. So she knows what story we're talking about. But for everybody else, it's a story about a market that's on the border between Haiti, on an international border, and Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Why don't Haitian merchants cross the border on land? Why do they take a boat? And Doris, please read the second question.
What advantages do Dominican immersion have at the market on the border?
All right, so at this particular market, Dominican merchants have a systemic, systemic means a system, have an advantage. Okay, a volunteer for the third question.
Me. What are the different approaches the Spanish and French took the colonization of the island of Hispaniola?
Very good. And volunteer for the fourth question. Letitia, I've nominated you to read the short sentence at the bottom.
Why was Haiti isolated by other countries after independence?
Very good. The word is isolated. That's like left alone, isolated. All right. So there we go. So there's the vocabulary. There are the questions. We'll dive into these questions next class, so you have plenty of time to think on it. And let's watch the first half of the video. Here we go. Let's say goodbye to these mukbang ladies. Bye-bye, mukbang ladies. Okay. There it is. All right.
Time for me to get.
Okay, so we watched the first half of this last night. And we'll finish up class watching the rest of it, and everybody will have vocabulary to study so you can think of a complex answer when you come back for next class. Here we go.
Republican.
Okay, there we are.
Time for me to get set up.
So it goes in just about 7 minutes. I'm going to divide it in half. Too many commercials. Okay. Here we go. And this is from about 2017, so it's about 6 years old.
Let's pause here. I'm driving on the road that separates Haiti from the Dominican Republic. Right here. It's the border that divides two very different countries. If you're born in Haiti, you're 2.5 times more likely to die as a baby than if you're born in the DR. You'll be almost 10 times poorer, and you can expect to have a much shorter life. I came here to find out how the two countries that share this one island can be so different. With a politically volatile and impoverished Haiti on one side, and the stable and relatively rich Dominican Republic on the other. How did this line produce two totally different worlds?
People think Lennon Piano takes a really
More commercials.
My journey starts here at this beach village in southern Haiti, where Haitian merchants, most of them women, are preparing for a nighttime boat ride. The women boarding this boat have one goal: to make it to the border where they will be let into a Dominican market to buy and sell goods before returning to their villages. It's international trade at its most informal. We're taking these boats because the next door mountain range makes the land journey almost impossible. These worn-out wooden boats have been making this exact journey twice per week for decades, and yet the process remains chaotic and unorganized, as if it's happening for the first time. All of this energy, time, and effort, all to transport a handful of goods that in most countries would be shipped in bulk inside one of these. We make this 7-hour journey to the border town, arriving around 4 a.m. The sun rises and we walk to the border market. This market was established right on the border as a partnership between the two nations to give vendors from both sides a place to buy and sell on equal footing.
Okay, so one thing to establish in the story. Okay, so that's the international border, this white line in the middle. This is a border market, and the structures for everything for the vendors to set up. It was financed by the UN. It's supposed to be a money-making opportunity for merchants on both sides. But in the questions you'll see, and in the video, the Dominican merchants have a strategic advantage.
The two nations to give vendors from both sides a place to buy and sell on equal footing. As we approach the border, I quickly realize that's not what's happening here.
So I'm looking across the border right now into the market, and you can see that Dominicans are already setting up. This is one of the big complaints of the Haitians. They're stuck on this side, waiting to cross the border, and the border guards are just delaying it. And meanwhile, the Dominicans are able to set up and get the best spots. These Haitians come from miles away on this grueling boat journey that I know now firsthand is very grueling, and they get to the border and the guards stop them for no reason. I'm supposed to open it up for everyone at the same time.
The guards keep the Haitian women from crossing, not letting anyone know how long it will be. The tension grows, and then, finally, hours after the Dominicans were allowed to enter, the guards open up the bridge. They buy and sell for the day before returning to the boats to make the journey home. The grueling boat journey, the senseless discrimination, it embodies the asymmetry that exists on this island. Watching it happen, it's impossible not to ask how it got like this.
There are a few key things that explain how this island produced two very different countries. But if you want to get at the very root of it, you have to go back to when this island was owned by two European powers, France and Spain. This island is actually the first place that Christopher Columbus set up a colony in the New World on his first voyage back in like 1490s. France wanted a piece of this island because it was rich in resources like sugar and coffee. So they fought a war with the Spanish, and they ended up splitting the island in two. One side would be the Spanish colony of Santo Domingo, and the other side would be the French colony with the same name, Saint-Domingue, just in French. And that is the most important part of understanding this whole thing. is how these imperial powers treated their colonial possessions. The French exploited the land. They brought in tons of slaves, and they were interested in making Saint-Domingue solely an economic producer.
They destroyed the soil from aggressively harvesting the same crop year after year, and they created a group of very resentful, overworked, and abused slaves that eventually rebelled. The Spanish had a different approach. After establishing domination on this island by massacring the indigenous population, they didn't exploit it like the French did. Instead, they went to places like Mexico and Peru to look for gold. So they didn't bring nearly as many slaves onto this island, and as a result, they weren't nearly as profitable a colony. Instead, the Spanish integrated with the remaining indigenous population by recognizing the native leaders' authority and intermarrying with the locals. The result was a smaller and more racially mixed population, with a sustainable economy and a political system, something totally absent from France's colony.
Okay, I'll stop right there. So that's 5:40-ish. That's part one. And here are the questions that we'll be looking at. Here we go. So, all right. So the questions. Question number one. Why don't Haitian merchants cross the border on land and travel by boat instead? Question number two. What advantages, whoops. Anybody see my typo there? What advantages do Dominican merchants have on the market border? Question number three, what are the different approaches the Spanish and French took to colonization of the island of Hispaniola? Oh, I realized I stopped it before this question could be answered. Why was Haiti isolated by other countries after independence? Yes, so we'll stop it right there, study the vocab, and we'll pick it up next time. That's it. Got a lot of work done today.